He's whiny.
Yeah, like he sounds like such a bitch. Anyway, I found out Sam Hyde follows me. I got to start the episode off with the fucking a little shill. Maybe we can get him on.
Dude, that's a big one. That is a big one.
Yeah, maybe we can get him on. I think that'd be lit. But yeah,
Sam Hyde on a podcast would actually be kind of scary because like there's a good chance that he joins and instead of being like, hey guys, like what's up? Like I've always really enjoyed you and like I think you've got a great Twitter presence. Like love your vibe, bro. He's actually just like, dude, you're like a fucking idiot. Like Lucas, I've seen your gay ass profile picture all over the timeline. It's always some queer shit, man. I fucking hate you, dude. I've been waiting for you to kill yourself, man. Every day I wake up and I say, he seems like he's a little bit closer to the edge. And I just cross my fingers that, maybe today's the day.
But in when it's coming from him, though, it's kind of like it's like a vouch. He's like vouching for your quality.
I mean, but which quality is he vouching for, right?
He's vouching for, I don't know, your comedic presence. I feel like if a comedian shits on you, that's like out of love.
I guess, yeah. It's like they do it to their wives, right?
Yeah, they do it to everyone they love. And who am I? Am I really better than his wife? If his wife has to deal with it, then so do we.
Yeah, so true, I guess.
I don't know if he has a wife, but all comedians do it to their wives. I'm impressed that some of them keep wives, if you think about it, because I don't remember women being great at taking jokes, but...
Well, so the thing is, I've met a lot of women who I thought were great at taking jokes, and what I actually realized was they're great at taking abuse.
Oh man, it's true though. Actually, that's actually really true because like every time I think a girl is good at taking jokes, she basically like just comes out later, like a year or two later. She's like, "You really hurt my like I really like,
yeah." Like I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, she's just one of the bros." And then like 6 months later, she has like a mental meltdown. She's like crying, like, "Oh my god, Lucas, like I can't take this anymore." I'm like, "Holy shit! Oh no."
You didn't get it. Yeah, no, dude. I wish I could just tell you the people I'm thinking of right now when like just like I really just thought you hated this, that, and the other thing about me. I'm like, no, what? Why would I be hanging out with you if I hated you? What do you like? Do I really seem like the person who would just like fucking just shit on you all day and still hang out with you anyway? If I didn't just like you,
it is weird because like it's all real. Like they're always right about everything, right? Like and this like I tweeted about this earlier. Like so at some point this week, I basically said like if you have an insecurity about something, it could better be thought of as just like something that's true that you need help coping over. Like how often do you find someone who's like, oh, like I'm insecure over my weight, and it's like, well, actually, you're just like fat, right? Like it's not. You're accurately assessing the problem, and then you're like reacting to it, and instead of saying like I want to fix this, you're saying like I need you to help me cope, right? Like it's
that's true. You're like, oh, I wish I had bigger boobs or a bigger ass. And you're like, I mean, I guess so, but I don't know if that you don't necessarily need it on your frame, but I guess you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I've had a lot of, and this is like one of those things too, where like you were saying, okay, well, they're like they think that you hate them because you're spending time with them and like saying stuff to them, right? But like that's like the base litmus test. It's like, am I spending time with you and giving you attention, or am I not? Right? Like this has been if you're one of our 6 female listeners right now, this is the key to understanding whether any male likes you is, does he give you attention without you having to beg for it?
Simple. Even if it is negative attention, in a way, it's still positive attention.
Yeah.
The currency is
negative attention. He's just like in 2nd grade and he's flirting with you and he's doing it badly.
Yeah. Listen, and the instinct to pull girls' hair doesn't really go away ever, even when you're 30 years old. You're kind of just
and it actually
that playground instinct still exists forever.
It's so true. It's always so true. I don't know.
The girls are just really funny. Like I don't know what it is about them, but they just make the best reactions for being harassed. I don't know why. I
was talking to someone the other day. I wound up in like an 8-hour phone call with one of our mutual friends the other day, and she was like, You know, Verse said something to me the other day. I was like, why do you always antagonize me? And he said, it's because you're so reactive.
It's really it, yeah.
And I was like,
this whole time we have both been thinking about the same exact person, by the way.
That's what I thought. I had a good because you know, like I don't know if you're familiar of like what her opinion of me has been, but she thought that I was like a 1488 like Hitler Heiling like neo-Nazi for a little while. And I guess she's starting to realize that like all of that stuff was entirely because I was just dating somebody who was really insecure of like other women who looked any other type of way. And so I was like, nah, babe, like this is the best. And all of the other ones, like she was white. So all of the other ones were other races. So I was like, yeah, like fuck them, dude. And so it transmogrified me into like a presenting like white supremacist, right? And and it's so much funnier because like all of this started because like where did the insecurity come from, right? It was because she saw pictures of my exes and like 75% of them were like ethnic.
Yeah.
So it was this weird like snake eating its own tail situation where yeah,
it just yeah, you gotta just fucking those shots, to make your girl happy. Whom's among us? Oh no, I don't like her boobs. They're too big or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that was so. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I don't have to pretend to like fucking flat chests anymore, man.
There's a very much a public facing like facade that happens to a relationship, especially when it's on relationship, and that's the problem.
Especially when they know your fucking Twitter, right? Like that's the thing. If you're like if I'm dating anybody and they find out what my Twitter account is, suddenly like every tweet, like I can't do like dating takes. I can't do takes about like any other type of trait that isn't their thing, right? Like I can only say positive things about traits that my girlfriend has, or else she comes to me like crying and saying like, why do you fucking hate my eyebrows or something? And I can only do negative things about things she doesn't have, right? Or else it just makes my life impossible. So now, and then you break up with that person, right? And now you're in this situation. now you're in this bizarre situation where like, as soon as you end, you revert to like what your actual expressed preferences are. And like right now I'm in a situation where I'm not dating anyone who knows what my Twitter is. And I think she's like asked to see it. And I've like explained, I've basically
keep it that way.
Like, yeah,
no Twitter for you.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. I basically explained that it is going to be spiritually harmful for you to see my tweets because I just post random bullshit, and like I post random bullshit about like every trait, right? And so like you're going to catch strays and you're going to look at it and you're going to say, does this guy hate me? And the answer is no. But I won't be able to convince you of that because you will be in a state of spiritual unrest, right? Yeah. So it's literally better if you just never look. I will tell you it, but you should just you just should not look at it.
This is the deep Lindy truth with Twitter is that your girl just never needs to see it. It doesn't even matter if like I'm not there. You're not necessarily. In fact, I can probably say I almost never will say anything negative about my girl on Twitter because it breaks my character. Right?
Yeah, no.
But even still, they're still gonna find something.
Well, like even if I like fucking hated their guts, it's not something where I would like I might do like a tweet about like a specific negative trait, but I would never like say, oh, like fuck this bitch, right?
Yeah.
Like nothing is ever like specifically about a person.
Yeah. It doesn't go well with like the vibes on the account, right? If you start just becoming like the I hate
my wife.
Yeah, it's like you fucking no one wants to see that, and then you just get you don't grow anyway. And now that Twitter is monetized, bro, come on, stop it. It's all about the growth now.
It's so much a vibe thing too, though, right? It's just not fun to read like super turbo anger seethe all the time, right? And it's not like I need to stop. I keep refreshing the price on a certain coin that we can advertise later.
On Bitcoin too?
Yeah.
Or on, oh yeah. We got the deepest alpha. I don't know if we can explicitly advertise it because I think that makes it, I don't know if YouTube likes that, but that is Bitcoin 2 is Satoshi's vision. So
Yeah, I mean, he fucked up the first part, and he was like, that's the thing. Like, if a founder comes out and they're too scared to dox their identity, like it's sort of a sure sign that they're not like fully standing behind whatever product they've released, right?
Absolutely.
So, like, the original Bitcoin, we don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is because he understood that he fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Bitcoin
It's too slow. It's
Bitcoin
too expensive.
2, though, yeah, there have been a lot of improvements to the technology backing it, and he's finally been willing to come out and name himself.
Yeah, Bitcoin 2, Bob Laxative, the future, the future of technology,
the future of finance, the future of my retirement, the future of your retirement too, if you act quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing.
This probably gets edited out, I guess.
I don't know if we can. I mean, by the time it comes out, I guess tomorrow. I don't know if it needs to be edited out. I think I guess we shill open exchange all the time.
We do shill open exchange. I don't know if we shill. I mean, I shill Ox, dude. I would like to say also, isn't it epic how we literally have like a meme coin name for like an actual token with utility, like Ox.
Yeah,
Ox is actually
the bull case for utility tokens.
Yeah, it's really like, I don't know, man. There was a big war in order to get Ox picked over OPN as the token ticker.
OPN's cringe. It sounds very sterile.
It's like, oh yeah, open exchange token. No. It's so obvious and intuitive, and it's like, yeah, I guess, dude. Whatever.
Obvious and intuitive. No, you don't want to, because you don't want to like shill. You can't shill something that's obvious and intuitive. It's like what's it called? Chainlink. Chainlink is very, very useful. In fact, every single company uses Chainlink. But it's very. I mean, they used to shill like the Linkies, the Marines, and whatever.
Yeah.
But now we can't shill Link. It's too obvious and intuitive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody knows what it is. This is the specific reason that Harry Potter, Sonic 10, Obama, whatever. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
That one. That's the specific reason that it did so well, is because it's like totally incongruent and it needs you to explain it. The explanation itself eventually becomes like hyper mimetic.
Yes.
Right?
The explanation is the sales pitch. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same thing with like Remelia releasing like the huge Fumo dolls. Right, and they're like,
the dolls are cool.
These like 27-foot dolls, right? And
you know that they're making the dolls for Bitcoin too.
That's funny.
Did you see that?
No.
It's a Sonic with like the with the red fucking meme boots the Astro Bay boots that everyone's wearing now.
That is cool. Yeah, I mean, well, and everyone just like, there was one group chat that I was in that accidentally spawned the copy pasta where they were like, dude, okay, like explain to me right now why a doll is worth $50,000. And some guy just responded saying, like, consider the size of the doll. And like, it just became like, that was it, right? Like, that was the marketing pitch. Consider the size.
It's a big fucking doll.
Yeah, it's 27 feet, bro. It's not. It's actually like 27 inches, but there's definitely gonna be one-off commission of like a massive.
You got to do 127 foot.
Right, right, and it gets delivered to somebody in like this massive truck with like an air chilled bed.
That's gonna end up in a museum.
The doors, yeah, they open the doors and the smoke pours out. And they deliver it, and the person's like freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god! Like, I can't fit this in my apartment. What the fuck am I gonna do?" Like you remember that guy who, the guy who bought like 80 tons of egg futures or whatever, and he like didn't realize that you have to like take personal custody, and he like posted about it on Reddit, and everyone was like, "Bro, can I buy like 2 dozen?" He was like, "Fuck you, 2 dozen? Fuck you, dude. You better be buying at least 600 pounds, or fuck you, dude."
Dude, that's so funny about the commodity futures. Having to actually buy the future. Oh my god! I wish that
no idea that was real.
Oh, that's so real. Because typically speaking, you just like it moves between different fucking like bank owned farms, so it's okay to do that because there's no actual person you like making the trades. That's why they kind of like gate it. Because you have to have like a like what is it, over $1 million? You have to be like an accredited investor, right? So you have to have like over $1 million. Which
you do?
Yeah, to officially to trade futures.
So you have to have over $1 million in order to trade that many eggs.
Yeah,
like that was a financial decision that they made.
Yeah, you can't trade any
they said, like,
commodities.
You can't responsibly fuck with this many cartons of eggs unless you have at least $1 million liquid.
Actually, I think it's a $250,000 liquid, $1 million in assets.
Oh, the U.S. government really strikes again, right?
They're trying to make it safe for the app, for the.
Yeah, they don't want somebody to get scammed buying and selling quantities of eggs that they don't understand. How do you verify they understand it? $1 million.
That's all you need. That's the golden ticket right there.
The golden ticket.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of funny. It'd be kind of funny. Like, imagine you you're like, why couldn't you do it with less money? And you're like, well, what you don't understand is that concrete poured in low income areas is typically only 4 inches thick, and it isn't until you get to the upper middle class neighborhoods that they bump the thickness to 6 inches. And if we deliver 6 tons of eggs onto your thin ass ghetto concrete, that shit is going to crack on contact.
That's the real fucking red pill right there.
I've been really good at coming up with bullshit explanations for all sorts of things lately, man.
That would be fucking hilarious if that was real, though. You have the credibility because your life.
That was real. Everything
that is real.
No, the concrete thickness thing, that was real.
That's so funny.
when contractors. When they shirk on the concrete, that's what they'll do is they won't put in rebar and they'll make it 4 inches instead of 6 inches, and then I found this out about mine is that the people who lay my driveway last, they fucking scammed the piss out of whoever my previous homeowner was.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this out because I had a delivery of like tons and tons of river rocks that I was going to put around my landscaping in the back. And
I was
when they dropped all of the river rocks off, it just like fucking BTFO'd an entire corner of my concrete. It was nuts. It was like instant. Those stress testers they have where they it's like a hydraulic stress test that gradually increases the pressure on stuff until like material breaks or snaps or whatever. Yeah, and it was like witnessing that, but only the part where it blows up. Right?
That's so funny. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's what you get for ordering a bunch of rocks. In fairness.
I know, yeah. What
that's your fault,
right? They were like, "Where do you want this?" And I was like, like here works." And they were like, "I."
Wham! It just fucking explodes.
Yeah. So I'm
awesome.
probably gonna have to drop like $5,000 on a new driveway or something soon.
I don't know, man. That sounds like somebody else's problem to me.
I just said $5,000 randomly. I don't fucking know how much it costs.
It probably doesn't cost that much to replace concrete. Well, if you want to do a shitty job again, I can't imagine.
I know that's the thing. Well, why not do a shitty job, right?
I feel like you could just do that yourself. You fucking weld in your garage. Why can't you just buy concrete and mix it?
I'm finally selling off all my scrap metal and welding shit and all of the stuff that has been like. It was cool having a house because I became like some sort of weird mechanic guy, I guess. But now it's like I had to get my brake rotors and brake pads changed recently, and I was just like, really like.
No, you know what? Actually, I know for a fact that you could just do this yourself because I remember growing up, my neighbor.
It's easy as shit, but I was just like, dude, like 2 hours on the div.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours in the sun.
Well, it's
you got to rent a little concrete mixer. Unless you have one.
No, laying concrete would be like a massive pain in the ass on my own, and like you can fuck up a lot. So like my town has dirt that settles really hard, and there's some sort of like weird black magic that you have to do in order to like pack the ground and get it right and shit like that. And so like nobody around here lays their own concrete. I don't know if that's real. And like honestly, if I was gonna sell the house within the next year, it just wouldn't matter at all. But also like, do I really want to be like, like I've already got to fucking paint the walls and I've got to get rid of all the like I have a home gym, and that's just like. Disassembling that is going to be such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, the gym part sounds fucking horrible.
And going around and like fixing all of the electrical, and it's just like,
I don't know. You have a real. I would just pay someone honestly. This sounds like a hassle, and you could probably go to Home Depot and get this for $15 an hour if you know a few words in Mexican.
Yeah, that is actually probably true.
This is actually, I say this as a joke, but also in reality, this is just what my family does because they speak Spanish. They hit up the Home Depot and they're just like, yo, I'll pay you $20 an hour. And they're like, oh yeah, what all that way? And they just they get like hella good service. And then they give you the card and it's like, boom. And they like don't skimp on it because you're like giving them $20 an hour.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should try that. I don't think my area has a ton of Home Depot Mexicans is the only thing. Like I'm talking about going to Home Depot and that shit's like 90 minutes away or something.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. I don't know if driving an hour and a half, it makes it worth it.
Yeah, I know. Then
hour and a half each way.
45, yeah. $45 an hour. It's suddenly
you gotta start spiking it up at that point.
I'm paying these guys a fucking like that's like an engineering buyer level 1 salary right there.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's like roughly what most jobs would be paying if you work in like tech. If you're not like an actual programmer, I guess, but like 40 something.
Well, I think that's like the clerical job wage ish, right? Like what is that? That's like 90K or something. Like that sounds about right for like if you're going to be like someone who does like what I said, like engineering buying. Like you're contacting people and just like handling logistics and stuff and not doing anything like super technical. You're in Excel all day.
Exactly. Yeah. Writing documentation, shit like that.
Yeah.
At simple as
level. I don't know. Maybe that is it. Dude, I currently have 1 milligram of nicotine gum in right now, and I've got to say it's chilled me out.
Right?
It's chilled me out too much, dude. Like I can feel my rate of speaking has gone down way too much.
Oh, yeah, that's because you have it. I guess it does slow your speaking down, but I feel like I don't feel chill when I'm on nicotine. I feel like my thoughts are flying a million miles a second.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really feel like my brain power goes down, like chills out whatsoever.
I just always feel a little bit slow and weird. Like
it does mess with your body. Like your it has like muscular. It fucks with that
for sure. Yeah, you don't want to like nicotine and then lifting is like the worst. It fucking sucks, dude. Yeah. But nicotine and then
typing.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Like anytime I'm writing on a computer or doing like anything like that, dictation, creative writing, etc., great stuff. I guess
it's fucking performance enhancing. It's some PDEs for chess playing.
For chess playing.
Oh, absolutely. If I get on a little losing streak, I pop a little nicotine, then boom, and I come out. I dig myself out of the hole real quick.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's actually kind of it sucks that they don't let people smoke in like professional chess anymore. They used to just play chess and just rip cigarettes the whole time.
They have to use like nicotine patches now. They have to use like the gay stuff.
I don't even think they let them do that anymore. Because I know that if you're on Adderall,
they actually banned nicotine.
Yeah, they actually did ban it.
Enhancer.
Because I know that they banned Adderall for sure. That's considered PEDs for chess, even though it doesn't actually improve your chess playing at all. It just makes you be able to sit there longer. But but they have like they're playing like classical games. That's like an 8-hour session, so it's not the worst thing to be on. But yeah, they did ban that shit.
They banned wakefulness drugs. That's like what they want to test. Like in order to compete in the Grandmaster Chess Olympiad, you have to be willing to sit here for damn near like 16 hours, right? Like that's
Well, they let you walk around. They let you walk around. Yeah,
I'm not gonna let you fucking sit here on your own, right? You have to be sitting here with someone else, paying attention to the board, mapping it all out. You've got to be attentive.
Oh, so you know what they do? It says what they do is they don't sit there. They like play their move and then they start walking around and they like walk.
That actually makes sense.
Other room.
I would do that. That makes so much sense.
Oh yeah, a lot of them they have like a lounge and they like walk around in the other room and they start like pacing and shit.
Yeah,
and they just like think about
the blood flow. I think about that all the time when I'm podcasting, right? Which is my most mentally strenuous activity that I do. So I'm always like I'm sitting here right now and I'm thinking like, well, dude, like the things that you're producing with your brain right now would be a lot more interesting if you got up and got some blood flow going on, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I should stand up here.
It definitely helps. Like I mean, obviously since you can't smoke anymore, that's the next best thing. They all start pacing. They all start fucking talking to themselves. It's kind of boss.
I'm trying to raise my mic stand,
but my mic cord is too small, so I can't pace with it. You get the most powerful Virgin Lucas Power podcast ever. We both were pacing. I feel like when I sit down though, I feel very much like I'm on like a talk show. I feel like I'm an anchorman, and then I feel more like in character.
Yeah, when I'm standing up, I definitely feel like I'm like a singer in a band, right?
Mhm.
Like I have this sense that I'm effing up by talking to you, and like there's a crowd in front of me, and they're wondering like, this guy seems kind of awkward. Like, why isn't he like swaying to the rhythm? Like, why won't he start singing? Like he's been doing the intro for the last 90 minutes. Like, when is he going to get to the music?
Mm. Yeah, no, I like to sit down. I like to feel like I like put myself mentally like I'm on like fucking Bill Maher. Even though I find Bill Maher annoying, I've always thought his show was like the ideal show to have. It's like you're sitting there, you get a monologue a little bit, you have a panel of people you disagree with, you just gotta yell at each other all day, and you can just talk over each other. It's great. It always gets like one Republican or two Republicans and like one lib, and then he just like argues with them the whole time. And I'm like, this is the fucking best show ever. I love this show.
Should we have someone that we just hate on?
Absolutely. We should get Ayla on.
Well, that won't work because like I think she's based.
You like her, yeah, but that's why that actually will make her more likely to come on though, because she knows she has you on her side.
I don't know if I like her enough to follow her.
Oh no, I wouldn't follow her. She's annoying, but
right. But it's just like it's one of those things where if everyone hates somebody, and especially if their like rationalization for hating her is like, oh, she's like a demonic whore, then I'll be like, like that's kind of base.
This
right?
is your problem. This is your problem. See, this is coming back to bite you now.
Okay. Yeah. I do. Okay, I see what you're getting at here, and I realize that this may be something stemming from a belief that I have recently realized comes with some sort of the rose has its thorns. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe this isn't the type of person we need to be we need to be idolizing as based.
Yeah, see?
So, yeah, that's actually a big thing for me, dude. Fuck. You just came in with like a baseball bat.
This is the thing. I'm the therapist here, you know?
Yeah, dude. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna have to work on some like how do I recategorize this thought now based on that specific knowledge.
Maybe we could find someone else though. Who would be? I feel like we could find a cool guest. We got to think of one. Z said he'll come on though, so we can have him soon. But we like him.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think really like. I think something that would be really fun for us would actually be having someone on who's like totally unrelated and we have like no fucking clue like what they're doing or like anything like that. And it's basically like a cognitive test for us to see how quickly we can understand like an entirely new domain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we bring in someone who's like a like they do professional like jointery for like carpentry or something like that, right?
Okay.
And we like have to try and understand. I mean, that one might be hard because that's something.
Yeah, I don't know where to find carpenters, but
yeah, I mean that's one of those things that's probably going to be like hard to understand. Like it's not going to be like a super vocal, like intellectual thing that they're describing to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'll probably have to be more like a like some sort of an academic subject because like a carpenter isn't going to be able to like explain things that are like physically done that well.
But here's the thing though, with academic subjects, I feel like I've dabbled with enough of them. I don't know if I can find a completely alien domain. Maybe we ask Rux. I bet Rux knows somebody.
Dude, we should have Rux
Rooks.
on, actually.
Rooks, actually, is what her name is.
Straight up invite Rooks on the podcast.
Yeah, let's do that. Actually, that sounds fun.
Just her voice flat out will be like, like we could clip that shit for ages and ages and ages. And I think she'd love to come on.
Yeah, might as well. Fuck it. We need some fresh blood on here. We haven't had a guest in forever.
She's also like one of the most insane judges of character too.
Surprisingly, she is surprisingly good at it. Yeah, we'll get her. We can get her on. We need to get there's a few people we need to have on now, actually, because now that we've had like, I guess like 20 episodes in a row now with no guest.
Right. And people like the guests.
Yeah, they like the guests.
People are getting a little tired of us. They're like, this Lucas guy, he clearly likes to listen to himself talk. And like, I love him too, but maybe not as much as he loves himself.
Yeah, see? Yeah, I think we need some crypto guests. We'll do Z. We got to we can get Rooks.
We can get DJ Harambe, the other Z.
Who the hell is DJ Harambe?
He's the Pepe guy.
Oh, I never heard of him. Fuck it, let's get him on.
He's basically the guy who like single-handedly memed Pepe from like, I don't know, like 300K market cap to like 500 million. I think the market took over from there, but like he was basically like the initial 1500x.
Fuck it, let's get some meme lords on here.
I don't know if you'd want to come on a pod. That's the other thing with all these crypto people is like if they have substantial money on chain and then you say, hey, bro, do you want to come on a podcast? They're like, I don't know about, like I don't really want to chill my voice or anything. And because like it becomes a thing where if people like recognize them, they'll like try and like kill them or
That's
shit.
true.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like, I don't know. That's why you got to get the OPSEC. I mean, I guess the voice is the OPSEC. That's why they don't want to show it.
Yeah, and that's the issue too. Is like I don't know. This is something that like AI is like wow, like it's really awesome. Like AI can do all this cool stuff where you like dictate and it like reads your shit out or it like comes up with text message and it's like dude like fuck you. I want an AI that makes a voice changer that sounds like not horse shit, right? Like that's like the one thing I need is like some sort of algorithmically uncipherable voice changer, and nobody can do this. It's like if I want to change my voice and have it be actually like you can't just remove the filter. Like it's not just like as simple as like one click denoising.
Well, here's the thing though.
The voice below.
You can just do the thing I did on my podcast with if you just pitch the voice in a way that is like logical, that people won't even know that they have a voice pitch changer on. Right, as long as you just don't tell people that the voice has changed. Like,
so you're basically saying do a ghost filter, but like if they do know, then they can figure it out.
Yeah, but they won't know that is the thing. So like, let's say that like what I usually just do is change for a couple of people I've had on. I just didn't say it was a voice
so basically
changer.
Just EQ them hard.
Oh no, well you can EQ them, but there's actual like a thing to change the actual key that their voice is in. So if their voice is normally in an F or whatever, you can change it to a D, and now they just sound like a different person.
It's funny also because you could like you can pitch this to them as I'm gonna make your voice sexier, right?
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I usually did. So a few dudes, I just made it deeper.
Yeah, like you can either make them sound like more like a twink or more like a Chad.
Yeah, you want to make them sound more like dudes would prefer the Chad shift, but
yeah,
I keep it that way. But yeah, if you just change the key to the voice, it is surprisingly really effective. Just because no one's going to assume that you did the voice change to them.
But now we've talked about it, so everyone's going to assume it.
Yeah,
They're going to go back. They're going to go back, and they're going to rip the audio stream from every guest we have, and they're going to randomly assign it different pitches, and they're going to go and compare it to that of the voice of everyone that they know in their real lives until they finally find the match. Right?
Yeah, that's
when I say it like this, it's like that's actually like a big ass like logistics cipher.
Yeah,
that you would have to go through. So
it's a pain in the ass. It actually is effective. Yeah,
it's a huge pain in the ass.
And especially if you don't do it like a full step, if you do like a 2.5 steps, so instead of like a D, if their voice is an F, you change it to a fucking D, but it's not a D, it's a D sharp.
Do people normally talk on like a pitch?
Yeah, they're in a specific pitch. Yeah,
they're like in a specific pitch, but is it usually like you're directly on like A? Or are you usually going to be like between like A and A sharp or something like that?
Yeah. There's a range that your voice is typically in. That's how people know what singer is, right? If you're going to be an alto or a soprano or whatever.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So like everyone's speaking voices within a certain key. And if you just change the key, some arbitrary, like, double blind step, then no one will know the difference. Just a little bit of, that's my, hey, listen, I'm in crypto. I know a few OPSEC things here or there. I should have applied it to myself, but I never did because I'm fucking stupid, but.
No, I don't know. I have like I guess my ENS is sort of like a public like IQ test I've given to people, right? Like having my ENS in bio has been like a like how much can you?
Is it actually in your bio?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I know, dude. This is like the funniest thing is like I have been talking to girls and they've been like trying to assess my net worth and it's like never once occurred to them to check like the crypto.
Oh, you really
wallet.
do have it in your fucking. That's funny.
Yeah. And it's like, obviously I don't have like all of my money in there, right? Like it's sort of a like, and at this point I've sort of set it up as like a treasure hunt, right? Where you can like look back through all of my shit, find the connected wallets, find deeper connected wallets, find wallets connected by like on different chains on stuff. And like, if you really want to go and like look for it, you keep finding like additional like Easter eggs and shit like that.
You know what's honestly the easiest thing to do is just send it through an exchange because they change the wallet addresses. So if you send it from a DEX to like a separate wallet to a centralized exchange, that address changes all the time.
That's what I do when I actually like want to like obfuscate something that I'm doing. Most of the time, I don't really care, and I think it's kind of funny that people like watch it.
I keep my public wallet. I have to actually update. I have to actually buy the ENS again. I think. I got the public one that I trade my shitcoins on, and I have the NFTs on. But other than that one, I don't. I like to keep it my real one on the DL.
Yeah, no, I have my public one is on like my Tracer that I just carry around everywhere and whatever, and the other stuff that I have is on that Keystone now that I have.
Oh, you got one of those? That's cool.
I got the Keystone Pro, the air gapped Keystone Pro hardware wallet that can't connect to your computer in any way.
Oh, really?
No, literally. So the way that it does transactions and that it signs things is like it has a camera on it and it like scans QR codes and then it presents QR codes for your like computer and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's this insane series of
Wallet connect
you
things.
flashing QR codes back and forth between things to get anything to work.
That's annoying. But it's I guess it's more
funny
secure.
though. Like I guess, yeah, and that's the other thing is like the point of a hardware wallet is to be fucking difficult to use so that like once you move the funds to it, you don't like touch them again, right?
Yes, exactly.
So it fulfills that perfectly because I never want to fucking use it ever again.
My friend used to just use the that's why I have paper wallets. My friend used to use paper wallets. But like that's like the theoretically the most secure, but
the OG Bitcoiner's preferred method, right?
Exactly. I had one before and then I lost the seed from it and I was like, okay, I never want this again.
It's like, dude, okay, like, am I gonna spend fucking 90 minutes setting up like it doesn't have to be some weird like paper cipher thing that you go and you pick from the approved list of key phrases, and it's this huge big ordeal. And like it made sense to me when I was like 15 years old buying drugs on the internet. I was like, oh yeah, like this is something I have the time for and I can learn about. And now I'm just like, wow, what a totally retarded idea.
If I wasn't like the kind of person who like trades his shit actively, I would just get like one of those like metal ones that you can like scratch the key phrase and put that in like a lockbox or something.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. I don't just send it to it and never touch it. So it's just not going to work. One day I hope to be the kind of guy who just is like, I'm sending Bitcoin to my wallet. I'm never touching it ever again. But I'm not that guy.
That's what everyone says, though. Like, everyone is like, I love Bitcoin, and in 10 years, I hope to have enough money to invest in it. Like, everyone is.
That's why like, Bitcoin 2 is the future.
Bitcoin 2 is, in fact, the future, right? Like, everyone is saying, oh, Bitcoin blew up too fast. Well, if only, right? If only there was a second chance for you, right?
If only there was a second chance, and you don't need to wait 30 minutes between each transaction.
You don't need to wait 30 minutes between each transaction, and you can in fact log on and buy it now. That would be crazy.
That would be sick.
It's insane. It's insane that this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. That it's going to exactly the same price as Bitcoin. This was not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Do not take my advice.
We're just guys on the internet speaking. We're not financial advisors whatsoever.
This is all an elaborate. Well, it's not a LARP, really.
Not a LARP. We're just degenerate. We're just retarded.
This is an elaborate friendship.
This is an
elaborate friendship that you're being exposed. I need to turn my mic down. I'm clipping his shit, dude.
Yeah, I'm clipping. I clip every single time, though.
I need to stop like deep throating the mic or something, dude. I'm way up. I'm way up in this fucking.
Hey.
Yeah, we are too close.
Look at that glizzy ultrasound. That echolocation of the glizzy.
I do like the ability to just like lean in and clip the fuck out of the mic, dude. Like it is kind of fun.
Especially we're fucking wilding today.
Dude, it displays it. It displays it on my little. So I have like this little readout, and I have these green bars that go up and down with the volume level, right? And at a certain point, it tops out, and it just says like danger, like do not go past this. And then if you push it just a little bit farther, it also like so. Do you remember the Sam Hyde interview that he had with that journo where like every single time that he laughed, he would lean in and just clip the fuck out of his mic. He would just be like, it was the Joe Bernstein interview, right?
Yeah.
That permanently stuck in my head as like a comedic device, right? Like every single time I have a mic and I have the ability to clip it and I'm laughing, I'm sitting there like, don't do it, Lucas. Like don't do the Sam Hyde laugh clip, man. Don't do it.
That's powerful. Our audience just loves our ear rape. That's the thing about them. That's their favorite thing.
Yeah, we've had our ASMR episodes, and then we've had whatever the opposite of ASMR. Dude, you know what's weird about ASMR, though? So that acronym, right? Like Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, right? That is completely made up bullshit jargon. It means nothing.
Oh, really?
Like it's literally a combination of words that like some Redditor thought sounded like cool or something. Like there's no
such thing as a meridian response.
No, like it's literally like just like a fucking meme term that everyone assumes must be in some way like medically backed by something.
That's fucking great marketing.
It's such an insane Redditism to me that 100% there was some guy who like confidently asserted this made up bullshit and it sounded like scientific enough and the rest of them were all like, oh, so true.
So true, King. I've heard of that before. Yeah. I've heard that in college. The meridian response.
Yeah, it's been like propagated forever. Like it's just that's one of the most beautiful examples of like the Reddit hive psychology also. And like especially because ASMR itself is already like like it's sort of pinnacle Reddit, I think. Like when I think about what the content equivalent of the Reddit mentality is, it's ASMR.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't fucking know. My brain just fucking farted.
I like there's a lot of people who are listening to me right now and they're like, oh, but Lucas, like how am I gonna get my sleep cummies without my ASMR?
My sleep cummies. That's actually no, and I remembered. It's just a complete tangent. Based on what I said before, I just really fucking love when you can make something up and someone's like, oh yeah, I fucking heard of that before, dude. I know all about that. That's my favorite thing on the planet.
That was another one of the things that I noticed hanging out in all of like the cities with all of the like big academic people was like, that's really, like when you're saying something and like people they're like listening, but not necessarily like they don't get it. Down here, they'll be like, okay, yep. And in cities, they'll be like, I know, yes. Like things that,
like oh, I've heard of that before. Oh,
yeah, like well it's just like subtle, like the little conversation advancers they have, or like the things that they say to considerately let you know that they're listening, are instead of just being like little pokes to let you know they're still there. They're like an affirmation that like, yes, I'm on the same page, sir. Like I understand. I know all this. Like it's just a little subtle tweak, but it's very noticeable
to make them. It's like so they can get leverage on you, so that you know that they're still in power and control.
I don't know. It just felt like like you can never know less than the other person ever.
It's all chess game.
Maybe they did know it all. Maybe I was just.
They might have, but you never know because you got fucking in their frame. You got cucked, bro.
I got lost. I got frame cucked.
You got frame cucked for real, dude. That's the problem. You lost frame.
I've been losing the frame a lot lately.
That's the thing about you. You're known for losing your frame, and I think you need to get together, man.
I am not known for losing I am known for holding on to my fucking frame for dear life, dude. I can be, and the frame can be a frame that nobody else in the entire universe would ever want to associate with. Like the frame,
like I'm a bisexual rabbit.
Like the frame could be like I can't even say this because somebody would like clip it out of context and it was like fucking rude. But like, the frame could be like insisting that this Roman towel boy is the most beautiful, yes. I mean, we all know where we're going. Young boy, right? Yeah. Nobody else is going to want to touch this shit, and get behind it forever. I will be out there dying in the streets, right? Like massacring myself for the bit. And
I do love that she saw the meme. That is like
I know. I also like the other thing is like when I saw like the numbers that it was doing in terms of impressions, I realized at some point, oh, she is going to see this. And I like sent multiple people a message and I said like the ideal outcome of this is if she sees it and pretends to be so offended that her video getting offended makes its own like viral like repeat of this whole thing. And she did it.
She did on IG.
She did it. Yeah.
That's a fucking,
because that was how I wanted her to springboard the shit, right?
That's an Oscar in the internet.
Yeah. Like I didn't want her. I mean, ideally, it would be best if she would do that and then message me privately saying, "Thank you for 10xing my engagement across all platforms. It's epic that I'm retired now as a result of your pedophile joke." We unfortunately, I guess, didn't get to that point, but we don't always.
She's Italian. She doesn't understand how the internet works.
They probably don't understand like viral marketing or.
She barely has light and electricity, so
Yeah, but I do like, and it's like the same thing with like the girl who like backlit her pussy through the dress in that one video. It's like I did
forgot about that.
Right, and like I made this joke at your expense, and I want the way that the universe resolves this to be you getting a fucking bag, right? Like I want you to fucking make it as a result of me like making this joke. That's the only way any of this can be like right and just and fair in the world. And it's just it's good to see when that shit happens. And it was also great because that's the ideal way for her to play it, right? If she came out and like acted offended, like that's the ideal way to engagement farm what happened, and like it was just like strategically the best.
Mhm.
I was proud. It was beautiful, right?
Yes, I think that was one of the. You'll be known for that forever. People are going to be mentioning the towel boy for a decade.
Right. It's so funny too because like there's that guy who like initially made like the base tweet of that with like the same exact video.
Mhm.
And his was just like he basically his joke was just him coming out and saying that he is like a pedophile and she's so hot and oh damn fuck man. And I was like, that's not quite as nuanced as I think the people would like. And I combined a few, like right-wing in jokes, made it a little more subtle,
Mhm.
had some more fun with it. And I think, honestly, the Roman towel boy phrasing, like, I think that was really
That's the kill. That's
the
the
cherry on top, right?
That
Like,
is the cherry on top.
it had the towel boy phrasing really carried shit. But anyway, this guy, anytime that thing gets reposted, this guy literally has like a mental breakdown in the comments.
He's like, I made that joke first.
I made the pederasty joke first. Like it's my pederasty joke.
Own. He got cucked. He got frame cucked for real.
Dude, I know he's so funny about it too. And he has like his little gang of friends, and he'll be like, quote tweet me, bro, like quote tweet this guy. Like he gets so upset. Last time it got posted, he like quote tweeted, this was my joke, he's taking credit for my joke again. I like just commented ratioing him a bunch, and he eventually like got mad and blocked me. But here's the thing, dude. When he made his joke, do you know what he did?
What?
He deleted and privated his account.
Oh, cringe. That's why. Because you're a cuck, dude.
Exactly. The universe and God hates pussies.
It hates pussies. That's the thing.
You cannot, like, that's the thing. I spent 2 days in the responses convincing everybody without beyond a shadow of a doubt that I thought that this woman was like a man. Like
this is like how BlackBerry invented the touchscreen phone, but no one cares because iPhone really like put it over.
Right. Because it doesn't, nobody cares about who did it first. They care about who did it best.
Exactly. Right? You put the time and the actual effort in, and that's why you were rewarded. And he gets zero clout. That's his fault.
And he's a weird cringe deleter guy who hides when a bunch of people with rainbow flags in their bios come and say nasty stuff to him, right? It's
yeah. You can't cower from the alphabet gang. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That was a situation where, like, in the same way that I'm saying that like that the towel boy girl, like I'm pleased with the way that she handled it and the way that she clout farmed it. I am like horrified by the way that this other guy has, because I literally so he commented in the responses to the towel boy thing, be like, oh, this is my joke, and I like responded to him being like, stop exposing me, like, and you know how like if the OP responds to a comment, it like boosts their comment, right? Because like nobody would have fucking seen his thing. Yeah, and it was like, and I retweeted his thing, and like I went and commented on his, and it was like, I put on a show that like directly led people to his profile and gave him engagement.
Oh, you quote tweeted him anyway, so they saw his joke. It just wasn't as good.
Like basically the important thing though is I engaged with him a bunch while that was ongoing to give him as much runoff from that as possible. And like, instead of recognizing what was going on here, he was like, oh, like this is fuck this guy. And it's like, dude, I don't know. It's so lame, dude. Like people steal my shit all the time, right? Like my pin tweet is stolen. Like there's that guy with the long hair who just posts all of my shit on TikTok. Like people post my shit on Facebook and Instagram. Like I get shown my shit by like real life accounts or real life friends who are like sending it to me on like a fairly weekly basis at this point. It's not like a weird rare thing that I have somebody steal my thing, and I'm never like, oh my God, like this person is.
It really just comes back to you
like,
ultimately.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, people can steal it, but it's good for them. But the universe has a rule where, like, if somebody steals your joke through some pathway, nobody really knows how. It's determined by, like, the Lord our Savior. But there's always going to be some pathway where, like, 5% of their runoff gets sent to you as, like, a royalty in clout.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works, but it just happens that way. And so, like, if you go out and you get pissed off about people stealing your shit, it like fundamentally demonstrates that you don't understand the way the universe works. And also it kind of shows everybody that, it's a little bit of a scarcity mindset.
Yeah, right? Like, you can't make your own jokes. What are you fucking gatekeeping, or what do you like? It's not gatekeeping, but it's like, scarce. You're scarce. You're holding on to it.
It's like,
mate guarding. You're like mate guarding your tweets.
One joke. Like, just make another funny joke, right?
Just be funny again.
Yeah, it's not like, are you done? Are you washed? Is it over?
You're washed. You're dirt water. What is it? Dog water. That's what the Zoomers say. Dog water. You're washed. It's over.
Well, they say that. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit older now. But dog water was like funny last year for them.
Maya had a whole thing on why, like, content being like totally devoid of ownership was like big. Charlie came back and did like a big thing, incorporated into whole like the Milady lore, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just independently getting accepted by like the right wingosphere.
Yeah,
that like, who cares about like stealing content, right? Like, it's just, like, it comes back to you in some way. You can't.
It always does.
Yeah.
Like, well, now the thing is, people were a lot more felt scarcity about it before, when the sphere was a lot smaller, right? Now the sphere is at the center. Like, I opened the show with, like, Sam Hyde is like following, right? Our Twitter sphere is generating a lot of the jokes that go down the cultural.
Well, I think this is sort of like a macro view of what happens on a micro level when these people get mad, right? It's like people get mad before they've realized that they can consistently reproduce results. And after they've consistently realized they can reproduce results, they don't care about it anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just becomes like, okay, you can have that one. I'll do another one this morning. I don't know what it is, but it's just going to happen, right?
Exactly.
And like, I don't know. It's something where, like, you do need a few examples of success before you can start like believing in yourself. There's very few people who have the self-gaslighting delusive capabilities to just endlessly believe that you can produce things you've never produced before. And it usually either renders them like weird homeless crackheads or billionaires. It's like a 99-to-1 ratio, right?
Yes.
Like, Charlie is actually a really good example of somebody who's falling into like the billionaire category, right? Is he said, he's been saying for years, basically, like, I'm going to create a new internet and totally control all culture by like this point. And it was like, this is like, it's like you run a good Twitter account, I guess. But that's like, like, you don't have a lot to be like saying that based off of. And then gradually, like, every year it becomes more and more like, oh, holy fuck. Like, yeah,
you might be actually able to do that.
Like, oh, he's actually going to do it. Like, holy shit.
Hey, so some people just have that Messiah complex, and sometimes it pays off.
Yeah, well, it's the same for like every, like, this is the billionaire meme, right? Is like Bezos was like, no, I'm going to have like $1 trillion or whatever, like before anybody even had like $1 billion.
Yeah,
and everyone was like that's a little bit kooky, man. Like that, just like calm down, dude. And now it's like, oh no, like the dude was serious.
Yeah,
like
it's kind of crazy when you think about it. I don't know. I wish I had that. I've always had like self-confidence, but I never had like messianic self-confidence, and that's, I know, and I was unfortunately not gifted that.
You sit there patting yourself on the back and being like, oh yeah, like, congratulations, Lucas, like you're doing such a good job being realistic and you're not deluding yourself. And then it's like, okay, but like, is this good? Like, it seems pretty clear at this point that a certain level of total delusion towards specific domains is actually like highly beneficial, and without it you're never going to make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that, like, I had that tweet about like positivity, right? Where like everyone's like, oh yeah, be positive, like, nobody really knows what that means. Mostly because it's like a therapy word that they're all very like averse to at this point. But it's basically just that, like, are you spinning everything that happens to you into something good, or is everything bad somehow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's literally just like how do you view fucking everything, right? So like I know somebody who got fucking smoked by a truck, right? And they broke their ribs, they like punctured their lung, they fractured their cheekbone, and they're turning the whole thing into like a bizarre, funny story for me in the hospital bed, like sending selfies, like, dude, look how fucked up I am. Like and this isn't like a guy where it's like reasonable for him to be like laughing at his like fucked up cheekbone. Like this was a chick, so it's like that's a big deal. Like when a girl breaks her fucking cheekbone, dude, she's not having a good. I mean, she shouldn't be having a good time, but if she is having a good time, it's like wow, like that is a really fucking cool trait in somebody, actually, because
that's true.
You know, like I've dealt with a lot of the opposite, and it is not fun. It is not a good time when you're dealing with somebody where like it's like, oh, okay, the Uber is 3 minutes late and she's crying. Like, you know, like, oh, like she got a down thumb in the group chat and she's cut herself. Like, it's not fun to deal with somebody who is so hypersensitive to fucking everything that's going on, and they're constantly like, you know, I mean, you know people, I'm sure, like this in your life, right? Where they're great people, maybe, I guess, fine intentions, maybe, but just everyone around them is constantly afflicted by like this evil, dark cloud that just comes and like rains shit on them to the point where like, it's like, I can't point to like a specific thing that you're doing that's like fucking with me, but I know that when I go away from you, suddenly everything is so much better, right? Yeah, that's the thing. Like you're not necessarily bad, but like I have to avoid you because it's just better for my life, right?
Yeah.
And everything. And then it's so bizarre. Like I think this is like how luck is formed too, right?
This is how luck is formed. So that's actually funny enough. Some people are very lucky, and I wish I had this trait. Shower has been trying to teach me luck, but luck is very much you kind of like meme it into existence and continue to make it.
Exactly. Because it's like if you go around viewing everything that happens to you as like good and lucky, do you think that more good and lucky things happen to you, or do you think that things just keep getting worse forever? Right?
You also have to consider like your brain is like for me to be again like autistic about it. Your brain is a pattern sensing like entity, right? The whole point of it is to be able to find congruency in like reality's chaos, right? So if you view everything as like an opportunity, no matter what it is, all that your brain starts to do is look for more opportunities. And then that's when luck is generated, right? It's an opportunity, and then you're acting on that opportunity. So if you always are just like, if you lose that like scarcity mindset about things that happen, like, oh, it was my only chance. It's like, no, you have infinite chances. And as long as your brain is always looking for
going on forever. And this crypto is actually like a really weird domain that like illustrates this in almost like a 2D plane. It parses everything down to like the most base level of clarity, because everyone will always like, you know, you fuck up the one trade. Oh my God, if I bought this and sold this here, I would have made 120 times this sum of money, right? But then you sit there like regret spiraling for the next 3 days. And over those next 3 days, there's like 4 identical opportunities that you missed because you were sitting there crying.
Exactly. And the thing is, you always have to just be like, there's always another trade. In fact, the part that is actually the reality of the whole trading game is that it's never there's always more up. The part that you lose the money like by like making bad decisions and like having bad low discipline, right? So you can like you whittle your cash, your like reserves down. But if you realize that as long as you catch ups, even if it's small amounts of ups, and there's always going to be amounts of ups, it compounds in itself, and then you make a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So it's just being open to the fact that there's always more opportunity. It's just a matter if you don't fuck yourself up in the meantime between each opportunity, right? And that's kind of life in general. And life in general is like keep your eyes open because there's an opportunity every single day. It's just a matter of can you like maintain your reserves between each opportunity by not like having a fucking meltdown.
You got to trust yourself a little is the thing, right? And you've got to understand also like, do I trust myself enough to say that this is not where I should be entering? That's the big thing is sometimes you see an opportunity and everybody tells you it's really good and it seems really obvious. And like, if you just don't feel right about it, like even if it goes and it was right in retrospect, like you should probably listen to yourself because that's the only way, you know, like when you start relying on like external resources, that's when shit gets really, really fucky. Like this trading, relationships, everything. Like I had one relationship specifically where everyone said, "No, dude, she's good." And like my first impression when I met her was like texting everyone being like, "Dude, this is a whore. This is This is like a shape-shifting lizard slut, right? And everyone was like, no, dude, like I've known her for like fucking like 10 years. Like she's great. And I will say, I should have trusted myself a little bit.
You gotta trust the gut. You know, that's ultimately you have to have faith in your intuition, because your intuition typically is just like amalgamation of your entire life experience being like communicated to you all at once, right? And you might not know the particulars in the moment, but your intuition typically is built off of like real things, right? I tend to trust my gut every time now.
When he gets older, he won't sound like this anymore, right?